I learned every single flirting technique and I did hundreds of approaches before finally realizing that the entire time I had no clue how to flirt. And really, I was just parroting things that I heard online, lines, but this isn't actually flirting. So, I want to talk about a taboo subject today, and this is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. But if you want to stop getting friend zoned in your interactions and you want to actually flirt, like in the way that creates sexual arousal, then you need to stop repressing your sexual energy as a man. So I want to explain what that means and why it is so huge. And this is something that changed my life, why a lot of men repress it, and how to stop so that you can create chemistry and so that women view you as a sexual person rather than a friendly, nice guy. Okay, so what is sexual energy? And it sounds exactly like it is. It's the way that you feel when you're around an attractive girl or you're talking to her, right? It's that feeling within your body, that drive, that chemistry. What happens is that state then gets transferred to the girl, okay, through your nonverbals, through your eye contact, the way you speak, the things you're saying also gets transferred to the girl. And then she feels that state within. She also feels turned on. So that's what creates that magic in the air, that sexual attention. And honestly, you can do this completely without words. All right. The problem is that most guys are repressing it. The problem is that most guys are actually waiting for the girl to be the first one to express some sort of sexuality. Here's the problem with that. The girl's waiting on you. Okay, as the man, you're supposed to lead this dynamic. For a man, it's not looked down upon if you shoot your shot and you get rejected. Okay, at least in my community, maybe in normies that is. But for a girl to express her sexual interest in a guy or her sexuality and then get turned down, okay, she can be viewed as a whore, right? So she doesn't want to get viewed as a slut. So women wait on you to express that first. Now, most guys are repressing this for a couple of reasons, actually. The first one is shame, and the other one is fear. So shame, I believe this usually comes from guys just watching a lot of porn or having a religious background where essentially sex is Satan, right? So I feel like for most guys, it's pornography though. And I think that when you watch porn and then you feel shame about it afterwards, what happens is that sexual feeling then gets connected to that shame. And so whenever you feel it, when you're talking to a girl, then you just tend to repress it and like feel bad about it and want to shove it down and ignore it. Okay, so the other one is fear, which I think is also very major. So most guys are afraid to do it because they don't want to be viewed as like creepy or something, right? When you tell a guy, hey, you need to be more sexual, man, the average guy's gonna be like, wait, what? Be sexual? No, people are gonna think I'm weird, right? So here's the thing with that. The thing about attraction is, and just being sexual, you could be the most like attractive guy, but a certain number of women are going to view you as creepy anyways, no matter what you do. Okay, so a certain number of women might be married, they might just not be in the mood, or they might not like you, right? Because not every girl is going to like you. And this goes for even like some of the most attractive guys. They're just not the girl's type. Okay, so if every girl is not going to be attracted to you, that means some are going to be a bit uncomfortable when you stop repressing your sexuality. Okay, so that is just the name of the game. Like that's not something you should actually worry about because of the second thing. So when I'm talking about allowing yourself to embody your sexual energy, this doesn't mean that you have to be a 10 out of 10 on the sexual energy scale 100% of the time, right? So what I mean is that you can actually be calibrated and still allow yourself to feel this way. You don't have to just go up to the girl and immediately just be 100% thinking about fucking her, like right then and there. Even though you could, but more likely you want to be at like a 25% sexual energy level where it's there, you know, it's present in the interaction, but it might be a bit under the surface. And then over the time, it gets built a bit more. Now, another part of this is calibration, right? So if you can detect the fact that the girl, whatever, is feeling uncomfortable, then you just notch it a step back. So it doesn't mean you have to be 100%. And you also have to accept the fact that by expressing yourself fully, certain number of women are not going to like that anyways. And you shouldn't be afraid of that. So you should want to win more than you were afraid of some women being uncomfortable. Okay, this is a very controversial but very true take. So that's actually the first step in how to stop repressing your sexual energy, is just understanding why you do it in the first place. Understanding maybe you have some sexual shame that you need to work through. Maybe you're afraid to do so and you need to get over that fear. But the next step is to unapologetically own this energy. Allow yourself to be a sexual person. Instead of going into a conversation and shoving it down and hiding it and playing it safe and being friendly, when you feel that chemistry within your body, when you feel that attraction, allow it to be there. And then just allow it to beam out of you through just your presence and your eye contact. And then that state is going to transfer to the girl and it's going to turn her on. Just watch, just try this, okay? So that's one way to do it. Another thing is to stop watching porn and masturbating. Okay, after about the third or fourth day of not masturbating, you're gonna notice your drive goes through the roof. You're just so much more of a sexual person when you're on semen retention. Your testosterone increases, so you're more dominant, you make better eye contact, your voice sounds sexier, you're better at leading the girl, and you're more intelligent, okay? So do not underestimate this. There's a lot of guys right now who are studying theory about how to flirt online, yet they're jacking off to porn every day. So it totally defeats the purpose and it's ruining their drive. Another way to create this feeling is when you're talking to a girl, imagine her as being completely naked, or imagine yourself having sex with her. And I can guarantee you, this is gonna create certain emotions, okay, within that will then get transferred to the girl. All right, now, if you want my personal one-to-one help with transforming your confidence and your skill set with women so that you can effortlessly meet and attract women who are in your everyday life, click the link that's in the description and go to my website.